Okay, it's finally here. I'm finally ready to talk about my 12-week follow-up from my full lower facelift, neck, upper eyes. I had it all done on February 1st. I want to talk to you about what those first 12 weeks looks like, the psychology of it that nobody prepares you for. I never hear anyone else talking about it. So we're going to talk about it because I want you to know this is normal. I think it is. I mean, no one else is talking about, but I'm going to claim it as normal, and then we can all feel normal together. So stay right here. This is my lower facelift 12-week recovery video. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Michelle Spieler. I'm an over 25-year professional makeup artist. I'm also a beauty influencer over on TikTok, and I'm the creator of Mature Makeup Masterclass, a series of over 20 videos I created on mature technique because I don't know about you, but around the time I hit 39 or 40, my makeup wasn't working the same. And so I've learned a lot in the last 15, 16 years on how to do mature makeup differently so that you look beautiful close up. We are the close up club here. Look good close up on my YouTube channel. I just want you to look and feel beautiful in person. I don't do social media makeup. In fact, it's funny. The Met Gala was this week, and so I just recreated a beautiful look by Lily Collins. The makeup artist was Fiona Stiles. Lily Collins has very thick eyebrows, very pale skin, but she had kind of a smoky taupe eye and a dark red lip and contoured cheeks and not much blush, and her face was very highlighted, but with matte. It was all matte skin. So I recreated the look, and on camera, it was so, so pretty. And then I looked at it close up, and I was like, whoa. And I took it all off. It took 3 wipes. I took it all off. It was not pretty close up. It was gorgeous on camera. It was not pretty close up. So then I just put my Saint back on. You know, I do on Wednesdays, you'll see me talk about Saint makeup, and it's just absolutely beautiful close up. So I speak the truth. I mean, I have probably around 40 skincare brands in this room. And as far as makeup, I haven't counted, but I probably have 40 to 50 makeup brands in this room. So I have everything under the sun. I can wear anything I want, and I still choose to always go back to this because this is what I feel the most beautiful in. Okay. If you haven't seen it, I do an entire YouTube video on everything leading up to my surgery. And then I did one on my surgery, how to prep for it, the surgery itself, what happens the week or 2 after. So go watch that. I encourage you to go watch that. This video today is my 12-week follow-up. I had lower face surgery, so they only lift to here. Okay. Some women get lifted here at the temple, and that's called vertical, but we didn't go that route. And we did not do a brow lift because look, there's really nothing to lift at this point. So we did lower facelift, which includes the neck. And then he decided to do upper bleph because he said, my eye it was starting to double fold over itself. So he did my upper eye, but we did not do lower eye. Lower eye was just a little bit of CO2 laser. Okay. Let's talk about what happens in the months to come. A lot of psychology plays into this. Have you ever decided to redo a room and you start with the walls and you paint the walls and you think that's going to make it look fresh and new, and then suddenly, oh, well, now the cabinets don't look so good. So then you paint the cabinets. Oh my gosh, the hardware looks terrible. We need all new hardware. And then, oh my goodness, now we need a new lighting fixture, and oh, now we need a new faucet. Obviously I'm talking about a bathroom, but you've been there, right? We've all been there. It's kind of that way with a facelift, and I can see how women easily go down the hole, right? They go down the rabbit hole of getting too much surgery, getting addicted to it, wanting to fix every little tweak. So let me start by saying, would I do this over again? 100%. Yes, I would do this all over again. I would do it exactly the same month I did. I loved doing February. I would definitely choose Dr. Augustine again. He did a beautiful job. And we sat down and we really talked about the plan. And he said, you're still going to look 50s. You're just going to look really refreshed. And I feel like he really delivered. Now, these are my cheeks. They are a huge controversy, especially on TikTok. People are way more cruel over there. Daily, literally daily, I am accused of cheek filler and cheek implants. I've never had either. These are my cheeks. I will show you in a picture. My cheeks have always looked this way. Even a few months ago, I had these cheeks. They were just a little bit lower and flatter, but when you pull everything up, because a deep plane facelift is lifting muscle, not just skin. So he lifts everything up and out, right? So my cheeks are now up and lifted, so they're tight. They're nice and tight. And so, yeah, I guess I could see why people would think I've had work done to my cheeks, but all I've had done was they were lifted. That's it. So I don't know what else to say. These are the cheeks that God gave me. And I appreciate so many of you that have followed me for so long. You always defend me in comments and I love it. Okay, let's start with, I agreed to him first of all, he agreed to me when I said I'd rather have you pull too little rather than too much, because I do have friends that had they were a little too aggressive with their surgery. He's like, yes. And this is why I chose him too, because he's already that type of surgeon, to err on the side of conservative. And then he told me, you're not going to look 30 again, but I'm going to make you're still going to look 50s, but you're going to look really good. I will tell you that my daughter often, from the profile, because we drive a lot, she'll say often, Mom, you look really good. You look really young. And my husband will stop me sometimes mid-sentence and go, you look in your 40s. And I'm like, thank you. But if you even tell me that I look 50s, I'm super proud of being in my 50s. I don't mind someone telling me I look like in my 50s. I just look more refreshed. So let's just get that all out of the open. He and I were on the same page. You're going to look 50s. I still was not prepared for some of the stuff. So number one, they do tell you this before surgery, you will have numbness. And it's usually in the outskirts of the face. It can be the neck. It can be behind the ears, because there's a lot of scar behind the ears. And you can have numbness up to a year. And sometimes people never get feeling back. And even knowing that and hearing that and knowing it and agreeing on it, I still don't think you're prepared to have your face numb. The closest thing that I can describe is when you go and get Novocaine in your mouth, and for a few hours you can pinch your lip and pinch down here and you can't feel anything. It's exactly the same. So when you've seen me do a video and I'm patting my face and I can't feel it and I'm like, oh, it's so gross, it's because you don't feel like you're patting your own face. It feels like a cadaver. So I would say, I can feel this. I would say I'm completely numb, 2 fingers lengths all the way down. Now, my feeling has come back all right here. And then remember, some of you were super worried because when I talk, I already talk crooked. I have forever. I mean, look at any of my YouTubes, look at any of my TikToks. I talk crooked. This lip comes out this way. But people were really freaked out and really concerned. And all this feeling came back, and then my injector gave me the tiniest little, like 2 units of Botox right here to stop it from pulling so strongly. And I might have to do that the rest of my life. We'll see. But that's not from surgery. That's just, well, it's partly from surgery and partly from, I just pull crooked and it bothers people. So if I can Botox it and talk more straight, I will. My underneath is still numb. I can now feel this part of my neck. I can feel my whole neck, but now I can't feel behind my ears, and I can feel the top of my ears, but right here down, I cannot feel my ears. So when I put earrings in my holes, because I have 3 holes, and then over here I have 3 holes and a little helix, I can't feel it. I have to really carefully look for the hole because I cannot feel my ears, and that's weird. But everything else I can feel. I can feel my eyes. My eyes healed greatly. But I just don't think anyone prepares you for the numbness. And the last time I had a checkup with Dr. Augenstein, he was kind of touching. He's like, do you feel this? And I'm like, not really. And he goes, yeah, you might never. Again, they warn you, but to hear it on the other side of surgery, you're like, you know? So that grosses some women out. My friend Ashley's mom, she's super grossed out at the thought of, not being able to feel her own face. I get it. I'm not here to talk you into surgery or out of surgery. I'm just telling you my experience. Okay, I want to talk about the eyes because I was not prepared for something. I think I thought that when he did my eyes would look young again. No. So he does take out the extra skin, okay? But we still have a little bit of fat pockets here that sometimes fall, right? Well, if they take out those fat pockets, you are going to look really hollowed out. You're going to look really like Skeletor, right? So you have to be really careful. So I still have these little fat pockets right here, but he took out excess skin right here. And so all of a sudden, I have this like beautiful eyelid and a nice crease that I didn't have a couple months ago. What doesn't prepare you though is that you think everything's going to be smooth and perfect again, but then you're like, oh wait, I'm in my 50s. So I still have a little bit of some fat pockets right in here, but it's fine. I can hide it with makeup. And then our eyeballs, I totally forgot. Our eyeballs, what do I say all the time? Our eyeballs are sinking back into our head. Our orbital bones are growing bigger. They're expanding like the universe as we get older. So no surgery in the world can bring your eyeballs back forward like when you're young. They're still sinking in our head. I was not prepared for that, and I've never heard anyone talk about it. But at first I was like, I don't know that I love my eyes. I do now. But as I was healing, I'm like, and then did I miss my hooded eye? Because now like with hooded eyes, I could do tons of different eye looks. And I feel like now that I have a crease and an eyelid, like that's even almost too much eye makeup for me. I really don't have to wear very much eye makeup anymore because now I've got a crease. So I don't know. It's like, it's weird. You sign up for it, but you're not really sure what it's going to look like and how you're going to feel about it. So I just wanted to mention the eyes because remember, you can get eye surgery. They can take away the excess skin, but your eyes are never going to look 30 again, right? So I want you to be mindful of that. Okay, the whole reason I went in for my surgery, all of my longtime followers know this, my fat pockets, right? I had these hereditary fat pockets right here. He thought it was some buccal fat. He went in and he said, guess what? That wasn't buccal fat. It was just regular cheek fat. It's just your DNA. My sister has it too. My mom had it. My grandma had it. He did do a little liposuction on the inside of my mouth. He sucked it out, but he said, you have 15 years of loose skin or 20 years of loose skin while those fat pockets were getting bigger and then they start to sag. I cannot really fix that with surgery. Like we can pull and lift, but you still have excess skin right here, much like a pregnant stomach. Okay. You can only snap back so much after 9 months of pregnancy. You're still going to have some loose skin. So we are going in the fall. This was planned all along to CO2 laser this to sort of like tighten and shrink up that skin. So, in a lot of my videos, look, you can still see it. It's not as bad as it used to be, but I still have some excess skin. And that was the whole reason I went to get surgery in the beginning. I hated that. And he told me day one, he's like, that is an almost impossible area to get rid of. Now, there is a guy in Los Angeles that does the mid facelift where he picks up your cheek pad and he reattaches it up high and then that would lift this, right? but I'm not messing with that. And very few people do the mid cheek. Mid cheek was really popular in around late 90s to 2010. A lot of people were doing the mid face, but I think there were a lot of complications and a lot of doctors don't do it. And I'm not seeing it advertised anymore. It's just not a trend. So that was not an option for me. And I'm not going in for more surgery. I can tell you that right now. So he told me this is really hard. This is going to have to be CO2 laser. So we're going to do that in the fall. So if you ever see me in some videos and I'm like this, and you're like, oh my gosh, she just paid all that money for surgery and she still has that. Well, he told me from day one, we can't fully get rid of that without CO2 laser. So I'm going in for that. Okay, my neck. Let's talk about my neck. I think I thought I was going to have a young 30-year-old neck again. No, guess why? Sun damage. So he lifted my neck. He pulls you. He's he cuts you behind the ear a little bit, I think back here in the hairline. I am telling you, for 6 weeks, I couldn't even look in my blind spot. Now I'm better this way. This way's still a little tricky. I mean, he could not have pulled more skin, okay? He could not have. My neck is beautiful. I have SPF on it right now, but I don't really have skincare. My neck is beautiful. I'm very happy with my neck. But no one prepares you for, you still have the same texture. He's just cutting out extra skin and lifting. That's all surgery is. Cutting out extra skin, lifting muscle. But the texture of the skin is all still there. I still have the neck creases from, just years of sun damage. I'm really, really crepey and textury all down here. So when I move certain ways, like I'll know, like I'll be talking to my friends on like a video, or I'll, look, do you see that? You can see a little bit of draping still. Now it's not as bad as before, but no one prepares you for this. He could not have pulled, if he pulled any more skin, I wouldn't be able to move my head. So he did a beautiful job. I love my neck. When I'm sitting up, when I'm, when I have good posture, it's beautiful. I can handle the creases, it's fine. We're also going to CO2 laser my neck and my décolleté because I do have a lot of sun damage. But again, no one prepares you. They're going to like the neck bands that are starting to collapse. They pull the neck bands out, they lift the skin and the muscle. And so you have a beautiful, tighter neck, but from certain positions, you still have some sun damage and you still have an older neck and skin, and so you're not going to look 30 again. I wasn't prepared for that. I really wasn't. And I can't wait to do CO2 laser. But again, I'm now more realistic. Like, okay, it'll tighten it a little bit, but we're never going to look 30 again, right? But I think psychologically, we think like maybe we could, even though we hear no, we think, whoa, but maybe, right? Like, I'm paying all this money. I'm sure I'm going to look really young again. No, you're not. Okay. So I have this one, do you see this lump right here? So he tells me every day he wants me to massage, and it's gone down. That's gone down 50%. But it's where the muscles came together, and he banded the muscles together. So I still have a funny little notch there. That'll go away in time. My stitches are great. You have one stitch right here. And your surgeon will give you a really great scar cream. Mine's like a silicone. You put it over, it kind of even lightens it a little bit. So there's a scar here. There's a scar here in my eyes. There's a scar. Basically, it's like they cut you the whole ear, lift the face, and then attach everything right back at the ear. So I have a scar here and going up and back. My entire back of my ear where the crease is a scar. And then there's a scar here because he literally, it used to be your ear just went right into your face. Well, now there's a crease that was not there before. I have a crease because they have to literally take your face, open it up, and then reattach it at the ear. So just know that. And that still grosses me out, but it doesn't look bad. And my husband is hypercritical. Gracie is hypercritical. No one's ever said to me, your ears look weird. No. And besides, I wear my hair down most of the time anyway, and I wear my hair usually in the front. So most of the time you're not seeing my ears anyway. Okay. Another thing that happens, and I think that this is just normal, is you do a lot of comparison. You'll see a lot of other women who had surgery, and you'll look at them and you'll think, well, why did they look younger? You know, maybe they had a more aggressive surgeon. Maybe they did surgery younger. I see a lot of women doing it in their late 40s and 50. Well, 50 to 55, that's a big difference. I looked a lot younger at 50 than I do at 55. So you really cannot compare. But even if someone is older than you or your age, you never can compare surgery to surgery, surgeon to surgeon. Everyone is different. Every outcome is different. Your lifestyle leading up to it is different. So that's one thing I had to really shut down. I had to stop comparing my outcome to other people's outcome. And I'm going to say this. I know someone on social media who had a facelift sometime in the last 2 years. And I think she always uses a filter because she did a video a few weeks ago and she had no filter, no beauty mode. And I could see all of her texture on her face. And I'm like, I've been comparing my real life texture to her filter. It's the first time it dawned on me, she's used a filter all this time. I don't use filters. I don't use filters on TikTok or Instagram or here. I have professional lighting, but you know, I'll get real close and I'll show you. Look, you can see little sunspots and discolorations. You can see a little bit of texture and some larger pores. You know, you can see lines in my forehead. I'm shocked at how many women on social media who are selling beauty are still using filters. And I really wish the FTC would ban it. I think it should be illegal if you are selling beauty or selling fitness or selling anything and you are doing anything to alter your 100% in real life natural appearance. That should be banned. That is so unfair. So, and I'm a professional and I didn't realize so many women were using filters in the beauty industry. I know all the young girls do, and I'm like, whatever, we don't listen to you anyway. But older women should show their melasma, their texture, their pores, their facial hair. Like, we should be honest about that because then it makes us all feel better. So once I saw her close up in her real skin, I was like, suddenly I felt better. I felt better. I'm like, okay, I had a great outcome. I was comparing my outcome to other people's filters. Nobody warned you about that. I also had, because of my surgeries and because of my videos and because of my very public knowledge of it and education on it, I've had tons of women on Instagram say, hey, I'm going in tomorrow, say a prayer for me. Hey, I just had it done a few days ago. I wanted to let you know. And it's so funny, but almost every single woman, and I'm probably talking about a dozen women just since February or late January, I would say almost every single woman had one or more complications. It is just a natural part of surgery. There is always going to be something that doesn't go as you thought or your surgeon thought. For me, I healed beautifully, I healed quickly, but 3 weeks after my surgery, I'm all sealed up, all my stitches are out. I start leaking from right up here. I start leaking like this, like yellowy, it almost looked like bile, like yellow liquid came out of my stitches, like right above my ear. And I was like, and it was, of course, on a Friday night, and there's no one at the doctor's office to call, and it wasn't an emergency. So I just put a Band-Aid on it, and I was chill. I wasn't that worried. I called Monday. I sent pictures. He's like, get in here, and I couldn't. So he's like, all right, come Friday. So, I mean, an entire week went by. He did put me on an antibiotic because of the liquid is yellow, just to be safe. And what happened was one of my stitches, like the day they took out my stitches, I guess they just didn't get this one particular one. And my skin like probably swallowed it up, like, cause you're swollen, right? So it probably got embedded. Well, it started after 3 weeks. It started to like wiggle its way out because your body's trying to reject it. It's just a loose suture in there. So he pulled it out. A tiny bit of, blood and pus came out with it. He bandaged it. I was totally fine within a day. No more dripping. It was literally a stitch. I've had women tell me that see, I had anesthesia, but a lot of women only have twilight sleep and they will wake up and throw up from it. I cannot imagine throwing up when your whole face is stitched up and you're so fresh and raw. I can't imagine anything worse. I had women who told me they had problems with their drains. I got my drains out the very next day. Lots and lots of crazy things that women told me. So just know something could go wrong. It's normal, and always just call your surgeon immediately. I was not prepared for how long healing took, and I really believe, and I might have mentioned this in the last video, I really believe if I had been in better shape cardio-wise, like if I had been walking daily, if I had been maybe a little bit more on top of my Pilates study, I think if my body was in better shape, I would have bounced back quicker. So one of my biggest pieces of advice for women is get in shape. I mean, I'm not asking you to become a bodybuilder. I'm not asking you to, get down to a size 2. Get your heart, get your cardio in shape. Even if it's just walking 4 or 5 days a week leading up to your surgery. Because I think when you go into a surgery and you're not really in the best shape fitness-wise, I think it's very easy to be tired, and lazy begets lazy, right? Tired begets tired. And so I was very tired for 1 month. I was pretty much in bed the whole month of February. And I wasn't prepared for that. I remember when my mom had a facelift, her surgeon said, I want you getting in shape. I want you losing weight. When my mom had cancer, the oncologist said, you've got to walk, even if it's only 10 minutes a day. I know you're sick as a dog, but I need you to walk to prepare for this huge surgery. So I know that even something as simple as walking out your front door is going to benefit you in healing a little bit quicker. So in hindsight, I would have done that. But it's hard when it's December and January and it's cold and you don't want to be outside walking. Maybe you go to the gym. It's okay. I think that's all I have to say. I just really wanted to talk about the psychology of it. I really wanted to talk about how your mind can play tricks on you and how easy it is to look at other women on social media and compare your real life to their filters. And I'm praying that someday filters get banned. I just really think they're a big fat lie and they have no business being on social media. If you like to use a filter, like if you're in your car and you just want a filter and you just want a cute little selfie of yourself, I don't care if people use filters for that. But when you are selling something, makeup, skincare, procedures, facial devices, fitness supplements, anything under the sun, there's even fitness influencers who have admitted to using Facetune in the past to make their booty look rounder, to make their waist look thinner. And I was like, I would never do that. That's such a lie. That's such a lie. So anyway, with me, you get what you get. Like some days I don't even shower before I do my YouTubes, right? So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I'm going to post a picture at the end of this. I want you to see what my cheeks looked like back in high school. They've always been just like this. They're just higher and tighter now. And I want to show you a picture of how I looked on day, I think it might have been day 11. I looked so good because I was still swollen. I was still swollen. So one thing they really warn you about is once your facelift is done, you're pretty much settled by 6 months, right? So I have 3 more months to go before he's going to take my after photo. But once your face settles and you're really healed, they don't want you losing weight because you'll get the sag back. You lose weight, you start to sag. So I'm in the process of losing just a little bit of weight. I'm walking more and I'm doing Pilates, and I'm not trying to get to a certain dress size. I just know my body, and I know I could probably stand to lose a few pounds, maybe 5 at the most, but 5 pounds will show on my face. It shows when I gain weight. It shows when I lose weight. So I have to be very careful, but I'm going to try to lose it and maintain it for when I do my CO2 laser, because that CO2 laser is going to tighten everything. And CO2 laser lasts about 3 to 5 years. So for 3 to 5 years, I shouldn't need any type of peels, or serious peels, that is. Like, you could do light peels, but I won't need any procedures really, other than, I get a little dysport right here. I get dysport at the top of my forehead, just at the top, because it lifts my eyebrow. And some of you know that this eyebrow it droops. So by putting a little extra dysport here, it makes my eyebrows even. So we go at the very, very top, but I cannot do this whole section. And that's another thing I get a lot of criticism about, is like, wow, you spent all that money lifting your face and your forehead looks terrible. Why don't you Botox your forehead? I can't. We've tried every which way. Anytime I Botox my forehead, it forces my brows down and it makes me look angry, and I hate it. I hate that look on myself. And I'm expressive, and so I like to express. So there you go. You're always going to have my lines in my forehead, and I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with, little crow's feet, although that CO2 laser really tightened me up. I'm a big believer in CO2 laser. All right, everyone. I hope that helps someone out there. In comments, please let me know if you have any questions. Please let me know if you've had surgery, and let all of us know just, any little tips and advice you can give, because women really do watch these videos. They reach out to me, and some of you have said, man, you just talked me out of surgery. And I'm glad I talked you out of surgery. It is hard. And I do not recommend doing it publicly. I did it publicly because I'm always looking to educate. I'm always looking for teaching moments. I'm always looking for, how can I help others through my experience? So that's why I went public with all of this. But it is not for the faint of heart, and you have to have very thick skin. And I do. And I normally can ignore comments, and I normally feel sorry for women who tear me down. I feel bad for them. But it has been bad lately on TikTok, because Paula's Choice boosted one of my videos I did for them, and it got about 2 million views. Well, those aren't my real followers. Paula's Choice just casts the net wide and sees, who will buy their product based on their ad. And so I'm getting like really mean, ugly, hateful comments. Some are funny, some Gracie and I giggle about, but some are just downright mean. And the meanest comments are from women. And some of it is like mommies with young babies. And I say back to them like, oh my gosh, you're a mom of a child. You're raising a child and you're talking to other adults like this. And, then of course they delete it because they're so embarrassed. Or, an older woman might tear me down because maybe she didn't take good care of her skin. And she's like, wow, I'm 55 too. Why don't I look like you? Well, maybe you didn't take good care of your skin, or maybe you had a really rough life. Some people have really rough lives, and it shows on their face. And then so they get mad and they lash out. Oh gosh, I gotta go. This is getting low battery. So that's all I wanted to say. I don't recommend being public about it. And a lot of women who talk to me say they are not telling anyone. No one knows except their husband, their kids, maybe their best friend. But you really are very judged. And it's funny to me because nobody judges you if you get a tummy tuck. No one judges you if you get implants or if you get your implants taken out. Nobody judges you if you get, veneers or you get a nose job, but you get a facelift in your 50s or 60s and suddenly people are like mad about it. And I just don't understand. I just don't understand why it bothers so many people. It's nobody's business. I'm just here to help you decide if this is for you or not. And I really hope this video helps psychologically because there is a lot of psychology that goes into healing from a facelift. All right, next week. I don't know what next week is. I'm not sure. I got to think about that. But I will be back next Saturday. So please subscribe for more mature beauty tips and stay put right here. And I will post some pictures just so you can see the progression and my cheeks from high school. And God loves you and so do I. Bye for now.